All right, I'm all sorts of confused. I got the upload dates for some of these mixed up, and I actually recorded episode 9 before I recorded episode 8, which is what you're listening to now, because episode 7, I only went into half of the story of. So I guess if you're listening to this, you've already listened to episode 7. So I talked about FedEx and what it taught me. But I haven't uploaded that one yet. But I'm recording episode 8, the part 2. But I already recorded episode 9. So I'm confusing the fuck out of myself here. I don't know what the fuck is going on. So bear with me here if it's out of order. If it sounds, if I already repeated myself, then it is what it is. But I shouldn't have done that. So lesson learned right there. Just keep that shit sequential. But whatever. All right, so episode 8 is going to be part 2 of the FedEx thing. I haven't even uploaded the first one as of right now, so I'm kind of confusing myself here. And again, the reason why I wanted it to split off is because this one's a little bit of a harder one, I guess, for me that I've experienced in my life, and it taught me so much, and I want to share that with you and be able to do so without any interruptions and worry about going on too long. And I truthfully don't even know how long it's going to go on for. But just want to be on the safe side. So I guess what we're doing now is we're starting the podcast off with the rules, which are the rules of my podcast here for the first 100 episodes. Actually, I'm going to make a new intro to the rules. And that's going to be it's going to be what I say. Okay, hold on. Who gives a fuck, dude? So, all right, so the whole reason why I'm doing this podcast in the first place is just to get better at communicating and putting my thoughts into audible form and having other people listen to it. That's it. At the moment, I'm not trying to promote this or gain money or do anything of the kind other than push myself to be better and to get some momentum going so I can get my first 100 episodes and then start promoting things and try to get some bigger name people on here and network around and meet some people. So, yeah, zero promotion. So here are the rules. I can't tell a single person about the first 100 episodes. And I think it's actually going to be 99 the more I think about it. Because I think episode 100 is going to be the one where I start promoting, you know. Because in my head, it'll be cool to be able to post on my social media with 85 followers and say, hey, yo, go check out episode 100 of my podcast. And then maybe get a reaction of like, what the fuck, he's got 100? And I'll get, some kind of traction from there, even if it's just one person per month. But I'm honestly not even thinking about that, dude. I'm actually enjoying this. It's kind of fun. I look forward to sitting down and talking and maybe helping somebody out, So, yeah, that's rule number 1. Can't tell anybody about the first 100 episodes. And we'll figure it out once we get there. Once we get to 100, we'll figure out what we're going to do. Anyway, rule number 2, I must record solo, no guests or bullshitting around with others. And that's just so forces me out of my comfort zone to talk about something that's actually valuable. And going off of that, rule number 3 is each episode must be a minimum of 20 minutes long. Again, that's just to push me out of the comfort zone and to talk about something for 20 minutes. And whether that's could be whatever, but it's got to be at least 20 minutes long. I'm trying my best to not just wait for the 20-minute mark and be like, all right, goodbye, and then end it there. So, but I'm feeling really good. I haven't come close to that. I feel really good about how that's going. Why do I keep saying episode, dude? Christ. Rule number 4, must have a lesson or a valuable takeaway from each episode. All these rules kind of play into each other, I've realized. And it's so that I share something that somebody can take and learn from rather than me just saying, hey, I took a fat shit today. And I think I used that example already, but I guess that's the one that came to my mind again. So, whatever. And then fuck! Rule number 5 is a commitment to 5 podcasts uploaded per week on Spotify. And I've actually lost track of how many I've uploaded this week. Today's Saturday, though. And so I made a little table here on my document of when I uploaded, or the date that I recorded what episode, when I planned to upload it, and when I actually did upload it. And it looks like, based off of this thing, I need to upload one more episode today to reach that 5 mark. Otherwise, I would have failed that commitment. So Thank goodness that I was a little bit on top of that. A little bit, and I keep burping. That's awesome, bro. Yeah, I'm just looking here. So, I'll upload episode 7, which is the part 1 of this, what you're listening to today. And, dude, it's weird that I'm actually even talking in the context of like, oh, well, I actually have a note. Because nobody's listened to the show at all. So nobody would even know any different. Oh, well, dude. Like I said, man, it's going to be sweet to look back and see me struggling right now. And then rule number 6. I didn't say episode, dude. Amazing. Rule number 6 is no edits or cuts unless I have to use the bathroom or my house catches on fire or something like that. So those are the rules of the podcast. The most important one is the intro, which is I'm just doing this for me, and I'm doing this to gain momentum and familiarization with everything to do with podcasting and everything. And in case you're wondering, in case you haven't listened to the first couple episodes, I'm literally sitting in my room. I have a $40 mic that I hooked up to my laptop, and I'm facing my wall with a pillow behind my laptop to kind of absorb a little bit more noise, because I am insecure about anybody else hearing me and talking to nobody right now, because nobody's listening to the show, and we'll see if anybody does by the time I reach 100 episodes. But yeah, we're learning and we're growing, and that's all that this is about. It's just about really putting myself out there and being receptive to the idea that somebody else might hear all of my thoughts and what I'm saying and have something to say about it, and then I don't know. But I do envision myself having a very successful podcast down the road. I envision myself having guests joining and all the shit, and a lot of good conversations had, a lot of lessons shared, a lot of wisdom gained. So that's kind of the goal. But right now, we're just taking it one episode at a time. And if you've already listened to the first part of this FedEx little series, then you know that how you accomplish the shit is one package at a time. So, actually, you know, what I've been thinking about is kind of going over my day of the Live Hard program, because every single day I'm faced with new challenges and struggles that I got to conquer, and I'm not sure if that's interesting to listen to, but I always learn something new, it seems like, every few days about myself and what I'm capable of and all that stuff. And today was an ultimate test, dude. Today is October 28th, and it's day 6 of phase 1, Live Hard. And the only things that I've done today, and it's 7:41 p.m. Okay, recording this podcast is part of the program, so I'm still actively working towards getting the day done. But the only things that I've done today, completed, is the first workout and the 5-minute cold shower, and that's it. So I still have to go hit the gym. Still got to take a progress photo, which is the dumbest one, dude. I could have done that this morning when I got out of bed. So I don't mean it's the dumbest one. I mean it's the easiest one, and I don't know why I haven't done it yet. It's ridiculous. Still got to read 10 pages. Still got to drink a full gallon of water. I need 40 more ounces roughly. Got to complete my diet, and no cheat meals or alcohol, obviously. I actually use that bubble on the app to check off my vitamins and fish oil. And then 8 powerless critical tasks, which is record this podcast, write 2 pages. So that's one thing. I combine that into one thing. And then, the fuck's the other thing? Oh, and then I got to write, I actually completed this earlier, but the 10 things that I'm grateful for, 7 of which are from current time, 3 of which are from the future that haven't happened yet. Such as, I'm grateful for this sexy-ass Lamborghini Aventador SVJ in my garage. Something like that. And then I have to stretch for 20 minutes and then do 10 minutes of dedicated visualization. And it's 7:42 p.m., Saturday, October 28th, 2023. So I'm way fucking behind. I woke up a little bit later today. Didn't make the time to hit the morning workout or go for an outdoor cardio session or whatever the hell. Just went to work, which is FedEx today. And it was a little bit longer than anticipated, and it's all good. But as soon as I got home, I just went straight to work, and I've been going at it ever since. And, dude, I unlocked something powerful within me today. I don't know what the fuck was going on, but man, I felt so much better when I started getting work done, dude. When I got home and I put my vest on, I literally got home from working within 5 minutes. I was out the door again. Oh, you know, I didn't put my vest on today. I just went for a run. Actually, I went running. So what I did was, because so my lower back's been hurting a little bit, and I'm not trying to push that. and my calf's been on fire, and it is what it is, dude. But because of my lower back issue, because I have 2 herniated discs in my lower back, and I have a 6th lower vertebrae, which means that my L4, L5, and my L5, L6, those are both herniated. So awesome. Not in pain currently, but it is there, and I'm aware of it, and I can feel it sometimes. But it's not something I ever want to fuck around with again, because I'm living pain-free and I'm enjoying it. So I want to keep that going as long as possible. So didn't put the weighted vest on. I'm trying to give myself a little bit of a breather from that. It's a lot of extra weight. It's 40 extra pounds on my spine, and I'm not really into that at the moment. So went for a run. So I walked the first quarter mile, then ran the next quarter mile, then walked the next quarter, and then ran the next quarter. And I did that until I got home, which was 47 minutes or 46 minutes, I think, was the completed time. And it was 3 miles and a quarter, I believe, that I was out there. So went and did that, came home, took on the ice bath, and then because I didn't shower this morning like a gross fuck, I had to get in the shower directly. I had to get in a cold shower directly after the cold plunge, and that's actually a fucking hack, because after sitting in the 45.8 degree cold plunge for 4 minutes and 30 seconds, almost, I think it was like 4 minutes, 27 seconds, hitting that cold shower ain't shit, dude, because the water at my house at the moment is definitely not reaching 45 degrees, which you could say is a blessing, but you know what? I didn't even do a mic check today, dude. Hopefully this is recording. Live and learn, baby. It's all good. But I took the cold shower directly after the cold plunge, about 5 minutes after, and that was much easier, because even though the water isn't that cold, it's still kind of I don't want to go in a cold shower. I want to go in a hot shower, dude. Shit feels nice. I don't want to sit there and be cold. So I took a cold shower and then did a lot of other things I have on my to-do list for the day. And I got that shit knocked out. And then I got out of the shower, and then I went and ate some hot food because I've been cold all day. Working FedEx, dude. It's like 45 degrees all day today, and that's cold as fuck for me. You can fuck off if you think that's not. I hate the cold, dude. So hopefully these cold plunges will get me acclimated to the colder weather coming up. I think it's snowing in the mountains as we speak, so fucking great. But whatever. And so now here I am recording this podcast, 7:46 p.m., and I still have to do all the aforementioned tasks for the day to complete day 6. And this has by far been the hardest day because I've been so exhausted. And I am not even started, really. Towards the end of my outdoor walk and my running, I just clicked, man. Something felt really good. I was like, man, because I was doing the battling thing in my head where I was like, hey, I'm only gonna run a quarter mile 4 times a day, so I'm gonna run a full mile. And I noticed that I did that in the first half of the workout. So the first half of the workout, and I was like, well, okay, well, I just walked the rest. But then I was like, nah, bro, you did it for the first half. Do it for the second half. Don't be a bitch. And so I battled that a little bit in my head, and I just fucking did it. I kind of didn't even think about it once I reached the halfway point. It was just like, hey, well, I'm doing it. And I did it, dude. And that was a huge win, and that made me feel really good because I have been exhausted all day from work. I get home, and then I have to go run again. I didn't have to do shit. I got to. It's a privilege to be able to, I guess, prioritize my health. I'm really cautious to use the word privilege because of the world and shit, but I'm lucky enough to have the opportunity, we'll say. So forgive me for using improper verbiage, but whatever. And dude, I just felt really good. Nobody else works a full day at FedEx and then goes for a 3-mile run afterward. And if you do, please let me know because that's badass, and I commend you for the hard-ass work. So good for you. But then I came home and took an ice bath, and the ice bath felt so fucking good, dude. I think it was just because I was so hyped up that, it was they're getting easier and easier for me to just get in and kind of hang out. It seems like the colder I get, the easier it is to get in and stay in, but the more it hurts. I don't know if anybody else can relate. The more it stings a little bit. It's not harder to stay in there. It's not harder to, Matter of fact, the hardest part for me is actually getting out. And what I mean is when you start moving around in the water, I don't know the science or the body mechanics around that, but it's like I disrupt my little heat shield or heat sheath around my body while in the cold, and the water becomes extremely cold, even colder than when I got in. I don't know what science is, so if anybody knows, let me know, but I don't know. But it feels awesome, dude, and I take pride in doing that shit. And it was cool because I heard Andy Frisella talk about his ice baths and how the benefits don't necessarily continue on after a certain temperature, which is roughly 50 degrees according to him. And I think Andrew Huberman said the same thing. There's a certain temperature where you're not really getting any more benefits, so it's the point of diminishing returns for the perks of the ice bath. And Andy does something like 34 degrees, which I would love to get down to. And he also said that your body acclimates to 45, that's fine, but that shit don't acclimate to 32 or 30, whatever, 35, I don't know. And then he said some guy reached out to him on social media and said, hey man, you know that the benefits will stop at 50 degrees, you don't need to go down to 35. And his response was, and that's why I'm me and you're you. That's why you're watching my shit and I'm not watching yours. And that was really cool, man, because I like to have some kind of reason or a reply or a comeback to some people who say some shit like that. But, dude, the only reply, well, first of all, you don't got to say shit. But if you are going to reply, the only thing you got to say is, hey, man, this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to get better. And just because there's no benefit further that you see doesn't mean there's not for me. And, you know, it's that simple. So, just a little perspective change right there, which is awesome. But it feels good, dude. I'm doing really hard things for me personally, and I'm getting them done, and I'm getting fired up when I complete them. I'm just feeling awesome. You know, like I'm sitting here recording episode 8, which is technically number 9. I already recorded 9, but this is 8. Whatever, who gives a fuck? And it feels great, dude. Like I was telling my buddy Jaden today, because we rode together all day at work today. I don't have any doubt in my mind that I'm not going to complete the day today. I have no doubt in my mind that I'm going to get all my tasks done. There's not a single thought that crosses my mind of bitching out or not doing it or failing or anything at all. It's like, it's more along the lines of me trying to sort out the mess in my brain that is the rest of my day that I have to sort out and get completed somehow. And like I said, there's no thought that crosses my mind of, hey, I'm actually going to fail today. I really don't want to. It doesn't cross my mind at all. It's just figuring out how I'm going to make the time and figure out when I can do the things that I got to do and how I'm going to do them, when I'm going to do them, and what time I'll be in bed. Because sleep is so important, and it would be a whole different story to some extent if I had to wake up tomorrow at 2:30 in the morning, because that would mean I'd have to go to bed 21 minutes ago, and I still have 3 hours worth of shit to do. So hopefully I don't get faced with that challenge, because I, at the moment, wouldn't succumb to the issues there. I would push through, but that would mean that I only get a whopping 3 hours of sleep for a full day of work. And I'd like to not do that. So it is what it is. That's kind of how today went, and I'm just feeling excellent, man. I'm doing really hard things for me personally. I'm getting shit done. I'm staying committed to so many things, even more things than the program. I think I already talked on this a little bit, but I'm going to read more, go through my day of the shit that I do. So at the moment, no social media, and I actually fucking failed that today, bro. So my 4-day streak of no social media went away, and like I said in the previous podcast, or maybe episode 9, which is uploaded not now. You haven't heard that one yet if you're listening in sequential order. But I talked about how I have the apps on my phone still, but I deleted them off of my home screen. So they're in that folder, and I muted notifications. Except I didn't do that on Messenger. And my mom sent me a message on there and just said, I love you. And I was like, oh man, I love you too. So I just clicked on it, said I love you too. And then I realized I was on Messenger. And so I failed, dude. I failed that streak. So no social media. The streak has ended after 4 days. So fuck, you know, it is what it is. So we'll get that back up there, and we'll get that to whatever it needs to be. But because the no social media thing for me has been a game changer, because I'm not distracted and scrolling on that shit mindlessly like I used to be. So it's a fucking hack right there, dude. We'll get it back when we need to get it back, but right now I'm kind of hanging out, and I'm really enjoying the focus and the lack of distraction. So anyway, failed that. So make my bed, and it's a small thing, like the photo, taking a photo. It's a super small thing that's not going to really change or do anything in my life, just taking a photo. And I view that the same as making a bed. It's super easy, and I love coming home and seeing my bed made. It looks nice and makes my room look tidier, makes me feel a bit cleaner. So that's why I do it. We got floss once. Oops, I almost just crossed that off. Floss once, brush teeth twice, take a cold plunge, work out outdoors 45 minutes, take a 5-minute cold shower, a couple personal ones, no cheat meals, no alcohol, write 2 pages, set clothes out for tomorrow, tape my mouth shut for a good night rest, track nutrition intake, 10 minutes visualization, 20 minutes stretching. Why the fuck does this app think I'm... Goddamn. 10 things I'm grateful for. I actually did that one. Record a podcast, take vitamins and fish oil, drink 1 gallon of water, follow my diet, read 10 pages, work out again, take a progress photo. And that's my day at the moment. So I do that every single day, and I've done all of these every single day for the last 6 days. Well, 5. After today, it'll be 6. Because I'm going to fucking complete today. Anyway, after all that's being said, I'm going to dive into the episode now. And I realize it's 20 minutes in. So what I could do is end the podcast now, and then record another one, but I'm not going to do that because I would feel bad if I did that. I would not have a clear conscience. So this one's probably going to be a little bit longer. So in the first episode of the FedEx series or whatever, I talked about messy action beats plan, or I talked about 1 step at a time, how you eat an elephant 1 bite at a time, focusing on the whole full truck. Focusing on the whole truck versus just the next stop, which is kind of a parallel with life. Focus on today, you win today, and then you focus on tomorrow, win tomorrow. And so today, I'm going to talk about having a shit-ass day. Oh, I'm going to start right now. So, when I was in Colorado, I was alone. I had no friends or family out there. And I really mean that. A lot of people say that, but I mean that wholeheartedly. I had 0 family, and I had not 1 friend out there. The only people that I knew were my coworkers and the people at the grocery store that I would see. And that was it. I didn't hang out with anybody. I didn't know anybody. Nobody came to my house. Well, I actually went on a date with the girl. She came over, but that was it. Nothing happened, in case you were wondering. But anyway, so I just had no connection with anybody whatsoever. So I was alone out there, and I was only out there for about 4 months, I think. 3 months. Because I moved there from Arizona, and I was in Arizona for a year, and I just wanted to check Colorado out. Whatever. I'm glad I did. Scratch that itch. Colorado's beautiful. It's also liberal as fuck, dude. It's unbelievable. So, being out there alone, man, I was always beating myself up and in my head about so many different things. I wasn't in a good headspace to start with. I wasn't hitting the gym. I wasn't taking care of myself. I was eating shit food. There for a while, I actually quit all the fast food. And then I actually started on, I think I had Wendy's and then Raising Cane's a few times. And then I had Chipotle out the ass. I don't really consider Chipotle fast food. I think it's more like I don't know. That's just what I think, but whatever. Sue me. And so I would go to work, come home, and play RuneScape. And that was my day. That was my life. I didn't do anything. I didn't have any desire to do anything other than that. I would go grocery shopping. I wouldn't cook anything. I would just buy the pre-made shit. I would go to Costco, get the mac and cheese and the street taco kits and stuff, and they were delicious, but I just wasn't doing anything with my life whatsoever. And I was really beating myself up every day at work. You know, I enjoyed work. That was the only thing that kept me going because I was given such a great route and I was able to go so fast. I'm talking like 40 to up to 50 stops per hour, which if you know anything about driving for FedEx, you know that is fast as a fuck. And in doing so, I made a lot of money. I almost brought home, about $2,700 gross income per paycheck, which was bi-weekly, so $1,350 per week is what I made. And for a single guy living out there by himself, not doing shit in life, I was making some dollars, and it was awesome. I did pay almost $1,700 for my apartment, though, because first of all, Denver and the surrounding area is expensive as fuck, so it is what it is, but there were some goals and things that I've always wanted to have and accomplish for myself that I was able to do because of that apartment. One of them being have a kitchen island that's all marble countertop. I think kitchen islands are the fucking shit. I think they're awesome. And so I got an apartment that had that, and I realized, you know what? I did it, okay, but now I'm spending all this money on it. I don't want to do this anymore. And I mean, that I'm seeing a lot of things here that are just such long tangents I could get on. I'm sure I'll get to them eventually, but the point I'm trying to make here is I was all alone and I was doing nothing. And so when I'd be at work, the only thing that kept me going, I would get in my head and I would start thinking about how I'm never going to find a girl, how I'm never going to make any friends because of my habits. This is all I'm going to do. I'm just going to work FedEx and that's it. I'm not even going to have any kind of retirement. I have no benefits, I don't even have insurance. What am I doing? And I would just beat myself up. And the most ridiculous thing is I wasn't doing anything to change it. So I had every right and I deserved to feel that way because I was making zero effort to change or to get better or to do anything with my life. I made so many excuses. I wasn't doing shit. And comparing that literally 3 or 4 months ago to where I am right now is mind-blowing to me because who I am now and who I was then, two completely different people. I have made so much growth and made so much progress and developed into a very proud version of my own self. And it's awesome being able to say that and mean it and feel it, So I'd be having these really bad days. I would be out there until 10 p.m., we'll say. There was one day I didn't get done until about 11:15 p.m. But I had a few days where I got back at around 10 p.m. I got in there at 7 a.m., so I worked a 15-hour day. And I know some of you work 16, 17, 18, 19, and 40-hour days, bro. Nice. That's great. I'm talking about my story here. So I worked the full day. I got home, or I got back to the terminal. I had a shit day. I had so many stops. It wasn't going well. Maybe my truck, wouldn't start, so I had to hang out for a sec. Maybe I'm getting a voicemail right now. What the fuck? Weird. Maybe I couldn't find a package. Maybe I got lost at a business center and I couldn't find, just random shit that just takes up time. Because it's a whole other tangent I could get onto. But if I have 300 stops for the day and I spend an extra 1 minute per stop doing something, and that's an extra 5 hours of time just by spending one extra minute. And that's not really practical. You don't really lose a minute every stop. But if I took 10 extra seconds per stop, that would be an extra, 50 minutes added to my day just by taking 10 seconds. So shit adds up. So when you're looking for a package or you make a wrong turn, you got to flip a U-turn or something like that. That shit adds up. So, I don't know, just for whatever reason, I had a shit-ass day multiple times. And I got back to the terminal. I was beating myself up. And I was like, man, this is fucking horrible. I don't want to work this anymore. I got to find something else. I got to do something. I can't do this anymore. Whatever. Going through my head with all the bullshit. And I remember it was such a distinct moment, dude. And I always think about this, among other things, with the job and out there. But I got back to the terminal one day. I don't know the date. I wish I did. But I got back to the terminal. There's nobody at the gate, so I had to go get my badge, open it up. It beeps, it opens. I pull into my spot at the station. I don't see or hear anybody. I'm like, fuck, dude. I'm the last one here. Everybody else is home doing their thing. This sucks ass, dude. And I continued to beat myself up. So I complete the day. I exit out of my iPad, clean up the truck, open the door, grab my stuff, and get the fuck out of there. Or I go home and sleep for, 7 hours, and I come back and do it again. But as I'm walking out of the terminal, I go through the gate, go through the security gate, and I look to my right, dude, and there is a guy in a FedEx truck pulling into the station. Which means I, in fact, didn't have the worst day. Somebody else had it worse than me because they were out later than me. And before you start trying to make any justification as, well, maybe they started later, or maybe that wasn't going through my head at all. What was going through my head was, wow, dude, I'm sitting here bitching and blah, 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 but this guy had it worse than me. I could be that guy. I could still be out. And who knows, maybe there's even another guy out there still delivering packages. And it made me change how I approached that whole thing. Another time, same thing happened. I get back in my car, and I'm sitting there. I'm sitting looking directly at the terminal. I actually recorded a video. I'm going to try to find it really quick on Google Photos. I recorded a video of me capturing this moment because I was like, just a friendly reminder to myself, it could always be worse. And that's pretty much the takeaway from this one here is it could always be worse. And I'm trying to find the video right now. Not really sure what the best way to go about finding this is, but let's see here. Videos. Sorry guys, give me 1 second. Like I said, no cuts or edits on here, so. It was definitely earlier this year, no shit. It was at nighttime, just pulled into the thing. Let's see. Is it this one? Nope. But I recorded it because I wanted to always have it and look back and remember that it could always, in fact, be worse. Where the fuck is it? Yeah, man, if you're listening to the full thing here, I apologize. I'm not doing any cuts. Maybe I'll have to find on another one. Was I in Arizona here? I don't fucking know, dude. Alright. Is it this one? Let's see if it's this one. It's loading right now. Let's see. Okay, it's not going to load then. I just want to find the fucking thing. Bro, where the fuck is this goddamn video? Hold on. We're not going to stop till we find it, bro. I don't give a fuck. Here it is. It's got to be. Nope. Yeah, here it is, boys. Here we go. So, maybe I'll post it somewhere, but I'm sitting there in my car looking at the FedEx terminal that I just walked out of. I'm sitting there, and I see a guy pull in, and I say to the camera, kind of, if it would fucking load.
Here's a friendly reminder myself. Today was a very shit day. I just barely got back, and there's still somebody that's out in the bathroom doing their shit. I just barely got back. Could always be worse.
Can't believe I wasted so much time on this episode to find that thing. I thought it was better. But no, dude, I'm sitting in my truck having a shit day. I'm like, fuck, man. But then I see another guy pulling. I'm like, oh, that guy had it worse than me. That guy was out later than me. That guy probably had more stops than me. That guy probably had more struggles. Because if he's out this late, if he's out till 11:20 and I'm out till 11:10, you know, we're splitting hairs here. But I thought I had a bad day. That motherfucker's still out and about. And there might be even more people out there. And so, just really hammered the point home that whatever you're going through in life, whatever the struggles or whatever you're facing, chances are it could always be worse. And chances are there's somebody out there battling something worse than you. And I'm not saying to compare yourself to other people's issues and their story and stuff. But just keep that in mind. You know, you might think you're going through hell, and the things that you're going through now are some of the worst, and nobody has no idea what you're going through. But, you know, there could be that possibility that somebody knows what you're going through and more, and they're dealing with stuff that you have no idea about. And so I kind of started repeating that to myself for the next little while. When something would happen, I'd be like, you know what, dude, it could always be worse. I have to backtrack for this package. I have to drive 20 minutes. It could be 40 minutes, bro. I have to stop and get gas, and the gas station's an hour away, bro. It could be 3 hours away, whatever the case may be. And I actually haven't really thought about that much lately, but I haven't even been focusing on what's going bad, dude. I've been focusing on what's going good. It's been fucking awesome. So that's that one, dude. It could always be worse. Just always keep that in your heart. Whatever you're going through, it could always be a little bit worse. And it always could be better, too. But for the sake of what I'm talking about here, just remember, it could always be worse. Somebody might have it 10 times harder than you, and you might have no idea. So just keep that in mind. So, the last point here. How much time we got here? 34 minutes? Nice. The last point here that I'm going to wrap up with the show here is just me, myself, and I in the truck all day long. It's up to me to have a good day. Nobody else is going to come save the day or finish my route. It's up to me to get that shit done. So what I mean, and it's pretty self-explanatory, you know, like I'm working there. It's my job to deliver the packages. But sometimes you can ask for help and people can come and help you. I take pride in the fact that I wouldn't ask for help unless I was absolutely getting fucking hammered and I was doing everything I could to get done as soon as possible. If I was lollygagging or kicking rocks or whatever, I would not ask for help. And as a matter of fact, in all my FedEx career up until today, I've asked for help once in Arizona, and that was because I wanted to go to some event with my friend Megan at the time, and we were going to be late. So, and I was told that I was actually going to be able to get off at a certain time, and I wasn't. So I said, hey, I need some help. So that was the first time. The second and third time, or maybe even fourth time, was in Colorado when I had over 350 stops or whatever it was. And for whatever reason, I was just going slow as fuck, and I was doing my best, but I still wasn't. I didn't want to be out till 10 o'clock again, so I asked for help, and, you know, I got some help. But my philosophy is, with this whole thing, it's kind of a side tangent here, is if I'm busting my ass and I'm going as fast as I can, I'm efficient, I'm doing everything perfectly to the best of my ability in order to get home quicker, because that is the freedom that comes with the position. When you're done, you go home. If I'm doing everything in my power to get done as quickly as possible, and then I am required to go help somebody when I am done, I will not bust my ass to go faster, because I know that if I do, I have to go help somebody else. And so for that very reason, I apply the golden rule, which is treat others how you want to be treated. So I guess I apply it in the reverse. Don't do unto others as you wish they wouldn't do unto you. So I don't want to help people with their shit because I don't want people to help me with I don't want them to help me with my shit. And so that's why would I want to bust ass and do my best to have to go help somebody? If I knew that was the case, I wouldn't go fast. I would go slow on purpose, so that way I wouldn't have to go help anybody. And you can say that's selfish, but dude, I'm out here busting my ass doing my route to the best of my ability and get my shit done so that I can go home and enjoy the rest of my day. If somebody else wants to kick rocks and go slow, that's on them. They should have to own up to that shit. And if, you know, whatever. It actually happened fairly recently. I did my first stop at like 8:30 in the morning. And by the time that this other person had started their route, it was about 10 o'clock. And so they started asking for help around noon. They'd only been on route for 2 hours. And by the time it was noon, I had about 80 stops done. So meaning I only had like 30 stops more. So this person had done about 20 stops or 30 stops, and I had essentially finished my route, and they asked for help. You can fuck right off with that, bro. If we started at the same time and maybe your truck stalled or you something that is out of your control, that changes things. But if you're kicking rocks and you're coming in late and you're bullshitting, dude, you finish your route, I'll finish mine. If you want some help, you know, bust your fucking ass and let me know. But that's what I think about all that. But anyway, no one's coming to save you. You got to finish your route. It's up to you. And so there would be certain days where I would be fired up. I'd be ready to go. I'm like, hell yeah, I have 285 stops. It's a really tight-knit area. I'm gonna get this done by 5 o'clock. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to go to the gas station. It's fucking awesome. Let's jam to music. Everything's great, bro. And then I would pull up to the first stop, and due to my lack of planning or lack of preparation or whatever, I would see that my very first stop is this big-ass trampoline, and it's buried by 2 more tires and a huge-ass thing, and can't reach it because my dog, or whatever. And let's just say, for the sake of the example, that this stop is the only one in the neighborhood or whatever. And so I pull in, and it's like, fuck, I'm already here, bro. I don't want to turn around because I have to come back, and it's going to waste even more time later, so I got to get this done. So I take 10 minutes to move that shit around, you know, take some shit out of the truck so I can have some space to walk, because my truck was loaded. If you have 280 stops, that's a loaded ass fucking truck, okay? And so I would take time to maneuver that shit around, move things around, get access to the package, and I would finally get it out, and I would deliver it, and I'd get back into my truck, then I move on to the next one. And then I get to the next one, and then let's just say I can't find the package. So that's another 15 minutes gone. So 45 minutes of my day gone by or whatever, and I've only done 2 stops when I should have been doing like 35 or 40 or something like that. And the only thing, like, so helicopter view looking down, the only thing that's happened today is I have lost about 40 minutes of daylight or whatever it is to get my shit done. And that is a lot of time, but it's not enough time to have to want to throw in the towel. And I would do that, dude. I would do that so often. I'd have, even halfway through the day, I'd be getting like 40 stops an hour. I'd be kicking ass. And then I would hit a speed bump, figuratively and literally, and something would happen. And I couldn't find a package for 10 minutes, or I would try to backtrack, or I'd miss a stop or whatever. I'd have a package that wasn't on my list that I still have to deliver. And I would let that mild inconvenience, I'm talking minuscule inconvenience, ruin the rest of my day. I would let that one U-turn or that one whatever just fuck up the rest of my day. And that happened. In the example I was just giving, it took me 30 minutes to get to my first stop because of traffic or whatever, and I was like, fuck, dude, today's a shit day then, I guess. Kind of bullshit. I guess we're gonna have a shit day. Whatever. And I didn't say that in my head, but my whole attitude changed for the day. I was like, hey, I'm just gonna walk to the door now. Fuck all this, this is stupid. And I let the mild, tiny little inconveniences literally ruin the rest of my day. I allowed that to happen. And I know most of you have probably heard the analogy of being given like something around $86,400 or something. And they said if somebody, and let's say you I think it's 86. Well, for the sake of the example, you get $86,000 a day. You can spend it however you want, but at the end of the day, you lose it all if you haven't spent it. You lose everything you haven't spent, but you get that same amount of money again the next day. And then the question is, if somebody took some money from you, would you freak out? Would you take that money and just throw it all away if somebody took $1,000 from you? No, that's silly, because you have all this money. If somebody took $1,000, yeah, that blows, but you're not going to throw away the rest of the money. That's still your money. You can still do so much with the money. And so those are actually seconds in a day. So if you're having a great day, you have 86,000 seconds in a day or something like that. Don't know the numbers. And somebody takes 2,000 of those. Yeah, that blows ass, but you still have all this other time in the day. Make that shit count. Don't throw in the towel because somebody took a little bit of time from you. And so that's kind of the analogy, right? And I was never really cognizant of when this was happening. It was more like, wow, dude, this blows. And now I'm upset now. So I guess that's the kind of day we're having. I wouldn't even want to listen to music or podcasts. I would just want to sulk in my fucking misery, dude. And yeah, man. And so I got thinking about that shit. Just, deep thoughts by myself. It's all me, myself, and I. That's all I got out there. And I'm like, dude, nobody gives a fuck, that I'm feeling this way. Nobody's going to come and feel bad that I'm having a shit day and come take packages off me. I don't even want them to, because that implies that I got to go help them at some point. It's an IOU. And say I'm selfish, bro, but nah, I'm good. So again, just a reminder, no one's coming to save you. It's up to you to have a good ass day. No one's going to make it better. You know what I mean? It's like, sure, you can see your favorite person, they can make you laugh, but whatever, dude. It's up to you to have a good day and to spend your $86,400 or whatever the fuck it is wisely, and to know that even if you get robbed of half of that, you still have the other half, and you're going to get that same amount of money tomorrow. And you can make the argument that it's not even promised that we're going to be here tomorrow. And that is so true, bro. But you just really never know. And I'm not playing safe of like, well, I probably shouldn't do anything then because tomorrow's not guaranteed. So I'll just sit here and hold my cock, Like, I'm not going to do that, bro. I'm out here trying to do big things. And if I happen to pass away before I achieve those big things, I died trying. I died in the pursuit of this thing that gave me purpose in life and made me happy. And if I can go out with that feeling in my heart, I think I lived a pretty fucking great life, dude. So, it is what it is, No one's coming to save you. Get that shit done and spend your $86,000 or whatever the hell. Let's find out, bro. Let's see how many seconds are in a day. before people start coming at me. How many seconds are in a day? It's like 86,000. 86,400. Bro, I fucking knew from memory, bro. I'm incredible. So yeah, those are the points I wanted to make with FedEx, and I guess it didn't take as long as I thought it would be. But with the whole intro of the show here, it took 20 minutes. So yeah, we're at 40 minutes or something like that right now. Let's see. 45 minutes. So. And watch this, guys. I'm going to check off the record podcast right here. Boom. Did you hear that? Fuck yeah, bro. And even though it's not completed yet, I'm still recording. I did it, man, and it feels good. So now, we just got to stretch, read, visualize. Dude, we got everything to do. I still have to hit the gym. I'm fucking exhausted and I want to go to bed, but we're not going to do that because everybody else is probably throwing in the towel and being a little bitch and quitting on their day. But I am no longer about that life, bro. I am in growing season here. Oh, that sounded corny, but here we are, dude. This is episode 9 of BCast, and I'm trying to actually get a different name and an actual logo going. And when I say that, I haven't put any thought into it whatsoever, but I would like to get something else going, because BCast, the fuck is that, bro? I was actually going through my notes. You know what? I'm going to say that for tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to say that for tomorrow. I was just going through my notes and found some old stuff about what I wanted to do this year. And it's now October, and I'm now acting on them. So, pretty cool to see that I wrote things that I wanted to do, but I wasn't doing any of it. And now, here, in this present time, in current day, I'm actually working on it. It's kind of like I spoke it into existence, which is fucking awesome. So, that's the show. That's episode 8. FedEx is a great parallel to life. It's a great thing to compare and contrast to everyday life and what it has to teach you. So, I guess just to conclude here and to summarize, just take one thing at a time. Whatever you're doing, just take it one stop at a time. Do that one thing to the best of your ability, and then move on to the next. And you do that enough times, you're going to win the whole FedEx truck. It's going to be empty. You get to go home to your friends, family, loved ones, gym, read, whatever the fuck you want to do. Because if you just focus on one thing at a time, one step at a time, you'll be home before you know it. And home could be the fame, the fortune, the credibility, the recognition, the whatever that you desire in life. Just focus on one day at a time, writing one page at a time, recording one podcast at a time, doing one workout, whatever it is. And then messy action beats planning it out. So, like I said in the other episode, I struggle with this forever, and I still do. But I'm living proof right now that just starting and figuring out as you go seems to be a very, very good method. And you might not be as efficient as you want to be when you start out, but I guess that's the part where you grow. You know, I'm on episode 9 here. I mean, this is 8, but I recorded 9. And I feel a lot better than I did 10 days ago, or 10 episodes ago. I feel a lot more comfortable sitting here with the mic and shit like that, and that's growth for me. That's progress for me. You know, I'm kind of got a little bit of a routine going with the show. I'm talking about the rules. I'm talking about why I'm doing it, and I'm owning that shit. You know, I'm saying, hey, I'm not really good at talking to people and having conversations, and I'm not even having a conversation here. I know that, but I'm not confident in my ability to speak in a way that convinces others or, you know, enables somebody to understand what the fuck I'm even talking about. And that's why I'm doing the show. The first 9 episodes are for me, for my personal growth, and to document the journey and to show others when I'm done here. Well, I'll never be finished, but, you know, 3 years down the road when I got something going, I can be like, hey man, go back and listen to the first 100 episodes. That was me documenting everything. I didn't know shit about ass. And look at me now. So listen to the first 100 episodes, and you might learn a thing or two. You can gain some perspective, and know that you're not alone, and that I'm going through some shit as well. So we're all going through shit. It's important to remember that. But anyway, and then if you're having a shit ass day, and you get back to the terminal, and you see another guy coming back, it's a good reminder that you while you maybe had a shit day, somebody else had it worse than you. And I don't know about you, bro, but I'm going to have whatever kind of day I have. And I really don't want it to be any kind of worse than it has to be. I want the best day that I can have. And you know, if it can be better, then I want it better. But if I have a bad day, I'll take that. I don't want it any worse. There's an old saying or a quote. I don't know if it's old or not. I don't give a fuck. I just heard it somewhere. But it says, if we could all put our problems in a pile on the table, you could see everybody else's problem. You'd be pretty quick to grab your own problem, your own issues back after seeing everybody else's. And, that might be true, but just focus on your own shit, man. You're going to feel a lot better when you conquer your own demons and you overcome a lot of whatever you're going through. It feels fucking good. So, and the last point here that I made was just you, yourself, and you, me, myself, and I, doing whatever you're doing. Don't let your day go to shit because you lost some time during the day or you made a mistake, whatever. You're going to get $86,400 tomorrow. And if you die before then you die. But living with the belief that there is going to be more and there's going to be one more chance, to a certain extent, is only beneficial. So, the point I'm trying to make is if somebody comes and takes away some of your time or fucks you up or is an asshole, makes you mad or whatever, don't let your money go to waste for the day. Don't let the time you have and the seconds you have go to waste. Time is so precious, dude. We're running out of it every day. Everybody's got a timer above their heads. Nobody can see the timer. But when it's time, we're gone. And you could have a timer above your head for the next 80 years. You still got 80 years left on this earth. And you might look over to your neighbor who's 19 years old, and you might see a timer that has 5 days. But nobody can see the timer. Nobody knows. And you just really never know. So time is valuable, man. Treat it like that's all you got, because it really is, man. All we got is time here on earth. Ultimately, you should spend it however it makes you most happy and whatever fulfills you in life. And I think that's really all it boils down to, man. It's just don't take that shit for granted, because before you know it, we're all going to be dead and buried anyway, and we're not going to even know we existed, bro. Everybody that was on earth, with the exception of a few, bro. I know there's always going to be a motherfucker that says some shit. But everybody on earth that was here 100 years ago is no longer here. That was only 100 years ago. Weird to think about. If you go and look at a yearbook online of the class of 1905 or whatever, nobody in that yearbook is here. Nobody on the cheer team or the football team or the whatever. I don't even know what the fuck they had back then. But if you Google photos of yearbooks from 1920, 1910, even 1930, if you're in high school in 1930, you're, what is that, 110 years old by now? Because you're 20 years, roughly almost 20 years old when you graduate high school. You're like 18, So it means you're born in 1910. So it's quick math for anybody who tries to say some shit, but nobody in those yearbooks are here anymore. They all died. And whatever kind of life they live, whatever kind of legacy, whatever, that might still be going on, but they're no longer here. So, you never know what your timer above your head says. You never know when the hourglass is going to run out. You never know. So, something to think about. So, if somebody takes any time of your 86,400 seconds per day, let them have it and keep going. That's it. All right, guys. That is episode 8, technically 9. That is part 2 of FedEx. I could talk about FedEx all day, bro. I just learned so much, and it's such a valuable job, dude. If you're in the right mindset, that just has nothing but value to offer. Life lessons, man. So that concludes episode number 8, technically 9 of BCast. I fucking hate that name.